Hello, I'm Tarryl Clark, the State Senator from St. Cloud and the Senate Assistant Majority Leader. Welcome to the April 1st edition of The Update. Today, just want to talk a little bit about our education bill, the Senate's education bill. We will be rolling that out today. This is a really hard budget time that we're going through, and our families, our communities, certainly our schools, are all struggling to make ends meet. In order to balance the budget, we're going to have to be making some tough choices this session. The Senate bill is trying to make sure that we're protecting the classroom as much as we can, keeping some of the important programs that the governor has been promoting, things like QComp, making sure that our youngest kids can get ready for school. So a couple of the elements that you might be interested in is that while there will be approximately a 3% cut overall in education, we are relieving school districts of a number of mandates that have cost them a fair amount of money, and if by unbinding their hands, they can make better decisions locally than perhaps, particularly in these tough times, that we can at the state level. So they'll have a bit more flexibility to make those decisions and draw the resources to the classroom. They won't be held all the way harmless, but we should be able to make sure that we're meeting our education needs. As I said, we also are focusing on early childhood. We have been able to hold that part of our budget harmless. We've been working bipartisanly, bicamerally, and with the governor to figure out ways that we can make sure our youngest citizens are prepared for school. We know if we can do that, that we will be able to save money on special education, on English language learning, and some disruptions in the classroom. So that's probably one of the most important things that we can be doing to be getting our students on the right foot. As I said, we are proposing to continue QComp, the alternative compensation that the governor has been promoting. He's suggesting that we go statewide. At this point, we believe that it's not quite ready for that, but we are looking for a way that we can expand the great opportunities for teacher professional development into more rural communities, into some of our smaller school districts that have had a hard time participating. The other thing is that we're proposing that if you've been participating and you've been in good standing, that if the department finds that you are not meeting the statute, if a school district isn't, that they can't yank the QComp funding for that school year. They really have to give notice, and then that the school district gets a chance to come back and get an agreement with the Department of Education. That's something that happened in the St. Cloud School District this year, after being told in February of last year, in 2008, that we were going to be able to get continued funding. This summer, they got a letter saying, no, unless you make changes, and they've been negotiating on what those changes would look like, and ultimately in the winter, of this year, the department said, no, it's gone for this school year. We want to make sure our school districts are meeting requirements of our statutes, but they're also given proper notice and opportunity to move forward. If the goal really is to go statewide, that's something that we need to do. We're also having a variety of measures that relate to assessment and making sure that we're properly assessing our kids so we know how they're doing. We think it's important that we have grad standards and that we're meeting those requirements, but we've got to find some ways to make sure that we really are determining the growth of how a student's doing. You know, if Johnny is doing here last year and has improved over the year, we want to know that. So we're working with the department on that as well. Soon we'll also be unveiling our higher education proposal, because frankly we need to think about this as a continuum. We want to make sure that our youngest kids are prepared for kindergarten, because we're going to need all of them when they graduate from high school to be productive and be able to be competitive in a global marketplace. But particularly now, as we are having this huge economic crisis, there's a lot of people that are thinking maybe this is the time to get retrained. So we're working together with MNSCU and the U of M and our workforce centers to find ways to be moving forward that we can do even better services on an adult standpoint. We'll talk more about that in another update. As usual, if you have ideas about how we can make things better, if there's a mandate you think that maybe it just doesn't serve its purpose anymore, we'd like to know about that. You can go to the Senate's website, www.senate.mn, and there's a button you can click again, about how to be reforming things or ideas about what we can be cutting or changing. And if you'd like to contact me directly, you can click on one of the buttons there. Thank you so much and hope you have a good day.